Hello everyone. Um, I wanted to make a video about the pole flip, but this article kind of made me mad a little bit, and I wanted to go back and revisit it because there's a few things here that I want to talk about in terms of how I look for information and also process the information that I find as I kind of see this, and when I scroll down here, I'm reading this with sort of an advanced filter I have up for myself. I'm going to leave this up and let you read it for yourself, and then I'm going to scroll down and let you read each segment. But just try and point out some of the facts as you go along and read this. Um, Pause if you have to. Uh, what you got to do when you're looking at this, they throw in tidbits, little bits of information here and there. Like this is a fact down here. All major moons of Jupiter and Saturn, they're all tidally locked. That's an observable fact. This up here, as you know, our modest moon only shows us one face ever. So we only see one side of the moon. I ask you down here, what is it hiding? I'm not looking at what the moon's hiding. I'm looking at what these people are trying to hide from me. So I'm going to scroll down, because this is just explaining tidal locking. Like when you have something like this, where you get the gravity from Earth distorts the moon in an oblong shape, well, the observation is we have a slightly distorted moon. Is that caused by gravity? Well, if you see, this is where you go down rabbit holes and what causes gravity? And you ask a simple question. And you look in here, and it gets kind of frustrating when you do this because they don't always give you like direct answers. What they do, you come back to this article, they'll throw you little bits of information, and then they keep going back to the same stories. Like this right here, this is all made up. This is all made up. This is all made up. There's no way to test this. You understand? They want it to take so long that you would have to wait billions of years or hundreds of millions of years or whatever it is for gravity to slow down the Earth so you can actually see this. But then they tell you down here, this is the same process that happened on all the large moons in the system. So they fill this in your mind and then go down here. You say everything, this all happened to all of these to make this, but the only observable fact here is the phenomena of tidal locking. To me, they don't explain it just by pointing at gravity. And scroll down here, and this is the part that kind of set me off. Like this. Our moon became tidally locked to the Earth billions of years ago. How do you test it? How do they know? But they just tell you the Earth has always been there for billions of years because that way you automatically assume billions of years with this equation. And then this, like, again, all made up. How distant? Billions, 50 billion years. And this is kind of funny if you don't understand what they're doing. This is the eternal sunset that they're putting in your mind, like this romantic scene, an image This whole article, it's a love story. You got Romeo and Juliet, Fry and Leela. What I took this as particular, go watch TV. Stop asking questions. Just go watch TV, and that's how you get your information, because you're only smart enough to comprehend cartoons, according to these people, is how I see that. When they here, this is what we talked about earlier, so you can learn, yeah. And then again, the force of gravity, powerful enough to stop moons. And do you have any other questions about the moon? Are you even going to answer them? Or are you just going to fill our heads with whatever? So that's kind of frustrating to me. And it's not just with this, it happens a lot. And over time, like, this all began for me when I asked. I mean, see, this is what they always put in your mind when you think of the I wanted to say ancient lava fields, because they kind of, with the moon right there, they kind of say these are ancient lava fields. And that's another, does it have to be? But if it was while this was slowing down, why are they only on this side and not the other side? You know? But, so this all started for me back in 2016 when I started really asking questions. And one of the questions I asked was, where did the water come from on Earth? This is from April 4th, 2022. I don't even know if I noticed that. Is this a joke? When I see this and I see, but this is another article. Like, this is a fact when you can actually say, okay, the planet's surface is covered by 71% water. That would be a fact. Other waters you can tell, or other celestial bodies you can tell they have water. Then they tell you you're special. Now, see, this is an opinion in my, like, because we orbit the sun in the solar system's habitable zone. Like, we've never really observed another world outside of our solar system with life on it. So them implying this to be a habitable zone, that's like, no. Okay. We're close enough to be warmed without being scorched, nor to, like, this is the Goldilocks. And that's exactly what they say. They tell you fairy tales, refer you back to children's stories, because they put these ideas in your mind from a young age. They say the water cycle is fundamental to life here, but imply that it's not necessarily. But I don't think you need all three stages of water to have life. Guess that's my opinion. But now here they get down to the hypothesis, and at least they describe them as hypotheses, and not theories, because this one, there's a catchword they like to use a lot, because if they say it's alien, more people will look into it. And this goes back to the original theory they had. They crashed down in meteors long ago, and then they keep going back to this long ago, long ago, when you cannot go back and observe it for yourself. They just throw it out like so far in the distant past that they think you'll never be able to find it. And then they keep making up stories. The early solar system was chaotic. Now, do they even have proof of that? Like, we have no idea what the early solar system was like, but they're telling us it wasn't chaotic in one essence, and it is chaotic here, but they don't want it to be chaotic more recently. They just say it was a long time ago. When the planets are formed, like, they have no proof of this. But they keep, when you go back and you ask one question, this is what I'm saying. You ask one simple question, and they give you a few facts, and then they go back and they start filling your head with these ideas that they keep wanting you to go back. This is the impression that they're putting in your mind. Nearly 4 billion years ago, during the late heavy bombardment, they made up a name to describe something that doesn't even exist, to refer back to. And this is all a hypothesis, but it's been around for a while. And the scary part is there's not even enough water on these meteoroids, asteroids, whatever they want to throw at the Earth. It doesn't work. This is one of those that like really started it off for me, because they were saying the Earth's water came out from the further reaches of the solar system, that it couldn't have come from the sun because of the chemical signature of the water. There was the ratios of hydrogen to deuterium. And now there's a more recent hypothesis suggesting that the water on Earth was already here inside of the planet, but it still doesn't explain the mystery. And then they say the answer to our question is likely a combination. Like, how? You're saying you have water up there and water down here, so that means you have water on Earth. Okay. Are you happy now? No. I mean, this person is, but I didn't get the answers that I was looking for. They just told me something. This is 2022. And technically, I didn't go back to the phys.org article where they actually explain how the waters may have come from Saturn, but that was a big thing, 2019 or whenever that came out. But all these questions, and they never tell you answers, is the point of this. And that's why I'm just making this to show my frustration, because I'm going to talk more about the psychology here, why they do some of this stuff, why they implement these ideas before you get a chance to look, and how that impacts the once impartial neutral observer to now have these ideas when they go out in the field. And this is what they go to look for, and this is what they try to set out to prove. But in essence, they're looking at something like the whole basis of this is false. When you come back and you see this number, it's like, no, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait 50 billion years to see if you're right or wrong when I can basically prove you wrong right now. All right, good luck, everyone. Take care.